What's going on, guys? It's Joe with Hendo Daily, and this is sort of an impromptu collection update slash review of all of my current folders. So, previous to this, I had them all just lined up, biggest to shortest. No specific reason, probably just the way my brain was working when I put these in here. But came out here because I was bored, wanted to do a video, and decided to put them in order of collection of brand names. So a lot of just one ofs, these, couple more, and then I've got another drawer here. So I mean, not a huge collection, but we'll run through them real quick. So my one offs don't have any other ones of these brands. Is the Petrified Fish. I believe this one is the Pub. Yeah, the Pub. Um, this rarely gets carried. I like that it's D2. I do like the scales on it. It's just really big, very slicey knife, very nice, but just too big and a little too bulky for what I currently like, or what I typically carry. Next is the Spyderco PM2. Um, I mean, this is a great knife. When I got this off of Facebook, one of the knife groups that I'm in. Only thing I hated was the pocket clip, so I bought one of the Lynch Northwest pocket clips. This one really doesn't get carried as much as I thought it would either. I still really like it, and even now, just kind of holding it and messing with it, it's very fidgety. But I think I don't know. I think it's still just kind of a little bit out there design. With how Spydercos are, they're great. I think I just kind of tend to stick with more traditional looking knives, but that does not take away from how incredible this thing is, how super durable and ergonomics are great. S45E in steel, but just doesn't see as much pocket time. Next is the Miguron Talism. Got this one off Amazon, kind of an impulse buy, not gonna lie, just wanted something new. And I like the G10 and D2 combo. Said that a million times before. But liner lock, thumb stud. You can also oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Can also get the reverse flick off there as well. Really not a bad knife. Just hasn't been carried a whole lot. This is kind of my drawer of. That's not true. This is kind of my section of hasn't been carried a whole lot. So again, not a bad knife, especially for $30. I mean, this is a pretty solid knife, but just wasn't really my style. So I've used it as a work knife, beater knife a few times, just messing around, but that's about it. Next, the SOG Terminus XR. This one I really love a lot, and I want to carry it a lot more than I do. But when I did a video on this one, the pocket clip is just what kills it for me. Outside of that, like, this thing is super awesome. I mean, you got the thumb studs, you've got the flipper tab, and you've got the, oh shoot, what do they call their lock? Their crossbar lock, essentially. Sorry, you can kind of tell this is an impromptu video. I'm forgetting everything about my knives right now. But I really love this knife. I love the blade shape. It's the perfect size for my hand. I love the ergos on it, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a great knife, except the pocket clip sucks. That's the only thing. So SOG, I'm sorry. I love this knife. I would buy more versions of it, but I don't want to pay that much for a pocket clip that I hate. So that has still been carried quite a bit, though. Even with that pocket clip, I've still carried it quite a bit more. My Microtech Ultratech, this one was probably the first knife I ever spent more than $300 on. Well, my wife did, because it was a anniversary gift. This one actually stays inside in I've got a Holman Hadfield combo deck, and this is actually one of the knives that I keep in there on display as well, just because I have been carrying this quite a bit more recently. The only thing I regret, I got the double edge because I thought the dagger style looked pretty sweet, and it does, but I wish I would have gotten the single edge, and it probably would have gotten a lot more use out of it. Again, I still carry this quite a bit, but if I ever get another one, definitely going with the single edge, maybe even some serrations. And I don't think I have any knives with serrations minus one that is not out here. So that may be something in the future that I want to get, or I've even considered the UTX 85, just something a little bit smaller, but Microtech is solid, man. Like, this is such a great knife. I've had this for over 5 years now, and it's held up. I've had to clean it out a couple of times, just getting the junk out of the bottom of that. But outside of that, I've never had any issues. I've never had to send it back. I've never even had to sharpen this thing. I mean, this knife is solid, and I love carrying this knife. So that's all of the one and done brands that I have. Next is my Benchmade folders, and this is like the source, the beginning of my love for knives was Benchmade. It was the first big brand I've heard about and started collecting. Um, the one knife that is not in here is actually the first knife that got me into collecting knives. And that was my Benchmade Barrage, which is a Tonto with partial serrations, complete opposite of any type of knife I would carry now. I only have one other Tonto blade in my collection. But Benchmade is what started it all for me. Definitely, prices have definitely gone up. I mean, you're definitely paying the butterfly tax for sure, but they still make pretty solid knives. And in my experience, I've never had any major issues with any of my Benchmades. The Casbah, this was the first knife my wife bought me as an anniversary gift, and first auto, I think, too, that I've had. And I mean, this thing got a lot of pocket time when I was still working on the flight line. And so this thing is cut through all sorts of cargo, all sorts of boxes. I mean, it's been used, abused, and dropped. And a guy I worked with for a little bit, he tried talking me into trading for a it was Gerber '06 auto, I think. And the only reason I didn't is because I would have felt terrible because this was an anniversary gift, but I almost traded him for it. Glad I didn't, though. I still like that knife that he had, the '06 auto, but glad I didn't get rid of this one because this one, again, is a solid knife. This one's been through quite a bit. So, and then next is my custom bug out. I love the lightning bolt on there, and then my nickname on the back. This one has also seen a lot of use and abuse. And my first custom knife from the Benchmade shop. And again, I believe this might have been another anniversary gift. It's pretty much what I tell my wife to get. Like, she doesn't even have to ask anymore. I just am constantly sending her links to knives, and so anniversaries, birthdays, whatever, she doesn't even have to ask. Like, she's already got a list of stuff, I'm sure, in her messages. So this one has been swapped out a lot, though, with the scales. I go back and forth from the original scales to the brass crossfade scales from Flightanium. After as much back and forth as I've done with these, I really think I do like the original scales on there. Nothing against Flightanium, like, they make great scales. I think it's just the crossfade that I don't particularly love. So I wish I would have stayed with just the plain flat brass scales I had before that, but you live and learn, I guess. So if I ever buy any more Flightanium scales, it'll probably be those. But that's the bug out. And then really the true workhorse out of these three Benchmades is the mini Griptilian. And first sheep's foot I had, first mini version of a knife that I've had. And I think this is what kind of got me started on carrying smaller knives, was this the mini Griptilian. I mean, this thing is awesome. I think I've used the Life Sharp service on it. Oh, that was bad. Life Sharp service on it once, maybe twice, but that was because I was not comfortable in my. It's got some junk on there. I was not comfortable in my sharpening skills and did not want to jack this thing up. So sent it back once, maybe twice for the Life Sharp service, and I still get this out whenever I'm in the yard, whenever I think I've even carried this hiking a few times, but this is a great knife and held up over time for sure. So that's the first drawer, done with that. Only thing I can think of that Like I said, going forward, what I want to add to my collection, I would love to get another Terminus XR in a different variation if the pocket clip's a little bit different. And I think on one of the newer ones, it looked like a slimmer pocket clip, but I'll just have to go check it out and see. Spyderco, I would love to get a Shaman. I think that's the only other Spyderco I would ever buy, and it's just it's a great. It looks like a great knife. I've handled one. I think that would be the only other Spyderco I would add into the collection. Outside of that, UTX 85 or just another Ultratech single edge would be great. As far as Benchmade, I think the Mini Adamas is one I would love to add to my collection. Outside of that, honestly, I think I'm done paying Benchmade prices. I hate to say it, I would never turn one down as a gift, but I think I'm done paying the Benchmade prices. And unless I can find a great deal on a Mini Adamas, I think that's going to be it for me. So that's the first drawer. Done with that, let's get into drawer number 2. And this is the only other drawer. So we've got Kizer, Kershaw, and Wee/Civivi. Did not realize, I mean, I did realize how many I had more Civivi, but that is definitely the dominating brand right now. I think Kizer is second on that list only because I've got a few Kizer fixed blades that are not in here. So Kizer is definitely catching up. Like I am loving a lot of what they're putting out, especially their fixed blades. I mean, there's a lot I want to add there. So we'll get into that one first. So this was the first Kizer I ever owned. Again, anniversary gift, and that was the Escort. Sometimes I wish I would have gotten the aluminum and 20 CV version, but I love the red Richlight when I first saw it, and even though this is a little bit, I guess, medium to large size knife, this thing is great. Like, it is super smooth action. I love the overall look and design. The lines of this knife reminded me a lot of. For me, it was like the budget version of the James brand. Again, I'm forgetting it. I will add it in here. What that knife is, but it reminded me of a version of their knife. Again, just the lines of it and the size and the shape, blade shape, everything, just super smooth and super sleek looking to me. Ooh, almost got myself. Um, yeah, I love this knife. This is another one of two larger knives that I have carried a lot, even recently, that just keeps finding its way back in my pocket. So I love this knife. My first Kizer, and that red Richlight just looks real sick. After that was the Kizer original. My brother actually helped me decide on this one. I was looking at a couple of knives, I don't know, I guess last year, and he was like, you know what, go with this one for this, and this reason. Made sense, and I'm glad he talked me into that one, because this might be the only one where I would get the XL version, the original XL. Because although I love smaller knives, I could see the XL version of this being just a little bit better. But the aluminum scales, the D2 steel, button lock, I absolutely love button locks. It's one of the things that drew me to my mini Malice up here, but button locks are absolutely my favorite. And the deep carry pocket clip is great. I love the colors on it. I think it's gunmetal gray aluminum. Took this apart, like took it apart, cleaned it, put it back together, and it's still solid. And I don't know. Kizer makes a lot of great stuff, and this is one of my favorite Kizers I think that I have. And then next is the Mini Militaw. Again, just another great one from Kizer. Only thing I wish is anything other than a liner lock. I'm not big on the liner lock with this one, but obviously not a deal breaker for me. And so I think the inlays on it are pretty cool. I love the blade shape on it. Thinking about getting a full size Militaw and one of the more like with the premium materials. is something I would add next, but got this one, I think, for Christmas this past year from my mother-in-law. And same thing. She asked me what I wanted. I started sending her links for knives, and this was one of them that was on there, as well as the Muskrat, the little fixed blade from them as well. I have such a long list of Kaisers I want to add to my collection. Can't even really go through all of them. Some just off the top of my head. The original XL, the Sheepdog, the Hare, the was there other fixed blade? Oh my goodness. Oh, the Drop Bear and the Drop Bear fixed blade. Like, just there's so many that I want to add to my collection, that I am slowly working towards. Then we've got the big and little brother here of the Kershaw Iridium. So full size and mini. This makes a great pair for sure. And the mini Iridium, I mean the original one too, but specifically the mini, this thing came out like it was completely broken in already. And I wasn't sure if I liked that or not at first, because like it felt so like there was no work in period for it at all. Like it just came out super smooth. Like this is literally how it came out. Just, I mean, bouncing out. Like it's so smooth and such great action. I really like the Iridium and Mini Iridium. I mean, these are, again, price point for these two knives and the materials that are on there. Said that about it already. Is just great. And these are great EDC knives. And my first Kershaw knives. I've never owned another Kershaw. Definitely love those. All right, getting into the last section here. Run through these real quick. I'm getting out of breath. I'm tired of talking. Civivi and WE. So really just the one WE knife, and that is my Grail knife, the Mini Malice. I mean, I'd say I've added a couple more Grail knives since I've gotten this one, but this was my like end all be all, the knife I wanted, and I still absolutely feel the same way about this thing. It is such a beautiful knife, and I love the flame tiger stripe titanium. That look is just awesome. If I got another WE knife, I would get the same pattern on this hands down. So really love that knife. And 20 CV on the blade steel. I have not had to sharpen this thing up at all, and I've had it for well over a year and a half, maybe even 2 years now. Had it for a good minute, and it's been carried a lot, and I have not had to sharpen this thing once, and it still cuts through like butter. Uh, the monster Civivi Mastodon. I bought this thing just because of how ridiculously large and awesome the carbon fiber and Damascus pattern look together. I have carried this thing one time, maybe for like almost a week when I first bought it. I carried it, and anytime I pulled this thing out at work to cut something open, everybody just looked at me like, "What the hell is that?" But I cannot bring myself to get rid of this. It is such a ridiculously large and absurd knife that I gotta hang on to it. I mean, it's it's a Civivi, so it's great quality, it's great action, even with a liner lock. I mean, it's just ridiculous looking at this thing. Like, no one's gonna carry this for everyday carry, and if you do, I'm sorry. No offense. It is a great knife, but holy cow, just absolutely large and redonkulous. After that, we've got the Civivi Brazen. This is my only other Tonto blade, and this thing is actually pretty cool. This is definitely a newer knife, a recent purchase, but I mean, it's just another great Civivi knife. I mean, G10 as usual, D2 on the steel, and a liner lock. I mean, a lot of the materials and setup of a lot of Civivi knives, but for that budget price point, like you can't beat it. I think this was, I want to say it was around $50 maybe. I'm blanking out again, but again, G10 D2 liner lock with thumb studs and a flipper tab. You really can't go wrong with that. And I bought it because my brother had picked up the CJRB Pyrite. I think it's the Pyrite in the Tonto version. His was a button lock, and after I handled that, I was like, you know what? Tonto does look pretty nice. Like there's something about it. Like I wasn't sure at first because it's not, to me it's not like a traditional like a drop point style, which is clearly what I stick to in most of my collection. But like this Tonto and the lines on it and how they've got it grinded like this, it just looks tough. Like the only other, like I mentioned, the only other Tonto I have is my Benchmade Barrage. My wife keeps that in her car because that's always the one she steals out of my box whenever she goes in for a knife. So I told her to just throw it in the car, and she carries that in there. But the more I look at it and the more I think about it, maybe my tastes are maturing a little bit. The Tonto blade just looks tough. I mean, like it really does. And again, it's great Civivi quality, great looking knife, great looking blade. So I figured, why not? Let's add it to the collection. All right, last four. We'll run through these real quick. Civivi X-Arc, first front flipper, just because I wanted to try one out. Not a huge fan of it. Still good quality, still good Civivi knife, but I think just the design, it's too slim for me. I think is the biggest problem. So other front flippers that I've gotten, the Mini Militaw, great front flipper, not much bigger, honestly. In fact, barely bigger than that. But I think just it's too slim. Kind of reminds me of like the CRKT CEO. I just couldn't carry something that slim. I don't know. It just doesn't fit right, doesn't feel right. But haven't any reason to just get rid of it or give it away to anybody, so it's staying in there. Civivi Elementum button lock with the Damascus and carbon fiber pattern. Great combination. I love that combo. I love the Elementum and the button lock. I haven't carried it too much. I put the milled titanium pocket clip from Civivi on there, and I mean, it's a great knife. I've carried it a little bit, but not recently. But one that every once in a while I'll get that that feeling to just carry something different, and this definitely fits the bill for me with the rest of my collection. All right, next up, the Mini Praxis. This is one that I would also buy the full size version of. After carrying this around for a little bit, I love the blade shape on this. It kind of reminds me of the Wii Minnie Mouse, like that blade shape. I don't know, something about it just super nice. Again, very smooth. So many liner locks, and it's really not my favorite setup is a liner lock, but it's such a great knife that I couldn't pass it up because again, it's G10, it's D2, and it's a Civivi. So the only thing I wish for this one is again not a liner lock and maybe a button lock on that one. But other than that, super great knife. And last but not least, the discontinued Civivi. Holy cow! No, not Iridium. Oh my gosh, why am Odium? Odium. There it is. My brain is about fried for the night, guys. I apologize. So Civivi Odium, the, like I said, discontinued little brother of the Wii Mini Malice. This is the knife I bought when I was looking at the Wii, and I thought, let me check out the budget version before I go and spend $300 on another knife that I'm not gonna like. And from the first flick open of this knife, I fell in love with it. Like the blade shape, the handle, the fit, the feel. It is just such a nice knife, and I would never give this knife up. In fact, I've been looking for other Odiums that may still be out there just to get one or two more in the collection because I love this knife so much. This is usually my go-to knife when I'm wearing shorts too. I've got one, maybe two other knives that I'll wear during the summer, during short season, but this is the one that is in my pocket the most during the summer, just because it's small, it's super lightweight, kind of just disappears in my pocket, and I mean it's just so beautiful. Like I really do love this knife. So, but that is it. That is the collection overall, and I appreciate y'all watching. If you are still watching to this point, Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching this video, and I will talk to you all in the next one.